I will not deny you that satisfaction. Come over here, and Jesus leans against the mountain and begins to speak. 3 God's will has held us in this place, because had we gone any further, after the distance we had walked, we would have infringed the precepts and caused scandal. And may that never happen until the new pact is written. It is right to sanctify feast days and praise the Lord in places of prayer. But the whole creation can be a place of prayer if man can make it thus through his elevation to the Father. Noah's ark adrift on the water was a place of prayer, and likewise the belly of Jonah's whale. Places of prayer were the house of the Pharaoh when Joseph lived in it, and the tent of Holofernes for the chaste Judith. And was not the corrupt place where the prophet Daniel lived as a slave so sacred to the Lord, because of the holiness of his servant who so sanctified the place as to deserve the high prophecies of Christ and of the Antichrist, which are a key to present and future times? All the more reason this place is holy, as with its hues and scents, with its pure air and rich crops, with its dewy pearls, it speaks to us of God, the Father and Creator, and says, I believe. And you ought to believe, because we bear witness to God. Let it therefore be our synagogue for this Sabbath, and let us read the eternal pages on Corollas and airs, with the sun as our lamp. I mentioned Daniel. I said to you, let this place be our synagogue. That reminds us of the joyful bless the Lord of the 3 holy young men in the flames of the furnace, heavens and waters, dew and frost, ice and snow, fire and colors, light and darkness, lightning and clouds, mountains and hills, all germinated things, birds, fish and animals, praise and bless the Lord with humble holy-hearted men. We can pray and deserve heaven everywhere. We deserve it when we do the Father's will. For at daybreak they pointed out to me that if everything is controlled by the will of God, also the errors of men are wanted by that will. That is an error, and a widespread one. Can a father ever wish his son to be blameworthy? No, he cannot. And yet we see that in some families some sons become blameworthy, although they have a just father who points out to them the good to be done and the evil to be avoided. And no righteous person will accuse a father of urging his sons to do evil things. God is the father, men are the sons. God points out the good and says, behold, I put you in this situation for your own good. Also when the evil one and the men who serve him bring misfortunes to men, God says, behold, this is how you must behave in this painful hour. By doing so, this misfortune will serve for an eternal good. He advises you, but does not force you. So if a man, knowing what the will of God is, prefers to do the very opposite, can we say that this very opposite is the will of God? We cannot. Love God's will. Love it more than your own and follow it against the enticements and power of the world, of the flesh, of the demon. Also those things have a will. But I solemnly tell you that he who submits to such wills is most unhappy. You call me Messiah and Lord. You say you love me and you praise me, you follow me, and that seems love. But I solemnly tell you that not everyone amongst you will enter the kingdom of heaven with me. Also amongst my earliest and latest disciples there are some who will not enter the kingdom, because many will do their own will, or the will of the flesh, of the world, of the demon, but not my Father's. Not those who say to me, Lord, Lord, will enter the kingdom of heaven, but those who do the will of my Father. they will be the only ones to enter the kingdom of God. 5. The day will come when I, who am now speaking to you, after being the shepherd, will be the judge. Do not let the present appearance deceive you. Now my shepherd's staff gathers together all the scattered souls and kindly invites you to come to the pastures of truth. Later the staff will be replaced by the scepter of the Judge King, and my power will be quite different. It will not be with kindness but with implacable justice that I will separate the sheep fed with truth from those which mixed truth and error or fed only on error. I will do that a first time and then once again. And woe betide those who between the first and the second appearance before the judge will not have purged themselves, because they will not be able to purge themselves of their poisons. The third category will not purge itself. No pain could purge it. They wanted nothing but error, so let them be in error. And yet among them there will be someone moaning, "What, Lord? Did we not prophesy in your name, and in your name did we not cast out demons and work many miracles?" And then I will say very clearly to them, "Yes, you dared to clothe yourselves with my name that you might appear what you are not. You wanted your Satanism to be considered as living with Jesus. But you are accused by the fruit of your deeds. Where are the souls you saved? When were your prophecies fulfilled? What was the result of your exorcisms? Who was the accomplice of your deviations? Oh, my enemy is really powerful, but not more than I am. He helped you only to plunder more souls, and thanks to you, the circle of those swept away by heresy has widened. Yes, you have worked wonders, which apparently looked even greater than those of the true servants of God, who are not histrionics who astonish crowds, but are so humble and obedient as to amaze angels. My true servants, through their sacrifices, do not create phantasms, but wipe them out of hearts. They do not impose themselves on men, but show God to souls of men. They do nothing but the will of the Father and lead others to do it, like a wave that pushes the wave preceding it and draws the one following it, without putting themselves on a throne and saying, "Look, my true servants do what I tell them," without thinking of anything else, and their deeds bear the sign of my unmistakable peace, kindness, and order. I can therefore say to you, they are my servants, but I do not know you. Go away from me, all of you, workers of iniquity.